Srimad Devi Bhagavat. If you want to know who Adi Shakti is, read Devi Bhagavat, said by Her Holiness Srimataji Nirmala Devi.
Sankalpam Mama Atmanaha Sahajayogi Kutumbanam Atmonnati Prityartham Moksha Prapti Prityartham Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Pujanam Karishe. The Holy Recital of Srimad Devi Bhagavat.
Chapter 2, Episode 1 to 2, The Birth of Satyavati. The Rishi said, Sutji, there seems to be a mystery in your narration, and we are confused. First of all, while Satyavati was an unwed maiden in her father's house, how could she give birth to Vyasji? Secondly, why did King Shantanu marry her after that? You are a dharmic person. Please unravel these mysteries and tell us in detail. Sutji says, I prostrate in worship to that Supreme Adi Shakti Devi from whom human beings have received the gift of existence. Human beings have 4 pursuits: virtue, wealth, sense pleasures, and salvation. Salutations to Adi Shakti. I will now relate to you the incidents related to this most sacred of Puranas. The most amazing fact is that if by chance the sounds of the most eloquent Bija Mantra of Devi Jagadambika come out of a being's mouth, he becomes eligible to receive her grace and blessings. Therefore, it should become the first priority of every being to utter the mantra and meditate on Bhagavati Jagadambika. She is always eager to bestow blessings and benevolence on anyone who worships her. There was a virtuous and pious king named Uparichar. He ruled over the kingdom of Chedidesh. He was very prosperous. He respected the Brahmins. He had worshipped Indra, and the god of the Devas had given him a precious crystal chariot. King Uparichar would mount his divine chariot and roam the skies unhindered and according to his will. The chariot never touched the ground. Daily, he performed religious and charitable deeds. His fame spread far and wide. He had a beautiful queen called Girika. They had 5 sons who were strong and noble-spirited. One day, the king wished to spend time with his queen, but he was directed by his elders to join a hunting expedition. He went, but his attention was all the time on his wife. His seed spilled. He wrapped it in a banyan leaf and requested a passing falcon to deliver the package safely to his queen. The bird picked up the leaf package and flew into the sky. Another falcon saw him and thought he was carrying his prey. He challenged him in the sky, and in the tussle that ensued, the package fell into the waters of the river Yamuna. Around that time, an Apsara called Adrika was bathing and splashing playfully in the river Yamuna. She dived into the water and caught the feet of a Brahmin who had just bathed and was performing evening prayers, Sandhya. He became angry and cursed the playful Apsara. May you turn into a fish for disturbing and defiling my meditation. She immediately turned into a fish and roamed the waters of the Yamuna. The packet that the falcon dropped fell near her and she immediately consumed it. After 10 months, the same fish was caught in a fisherman's net. When he cut open the stomach of the fish, he found to his utter surprise 2 human babies. One was a boy child and the other a beautiful baby girl. The fisherman took the infants and gave them to the king. The king kept the boy and gave the girl to the fisherman. The boy grew up to be a valiant and virtuous and became King Matsya. The girl was brought up by the fisherman. As her body always emitted the odor of fish, she got the name Matsya Gandha. The rishis asked, after the Apsara became a fish and got caught by the fishermen who cut open her stomach, what happened to Adrika? Did she die? And did the fisher folk eat her up? How did she get released from the curse? And did she go back to heaven? Please do tell us. Suji says, hearing the curse of the Muni, the Apsara became very forlorn and distressed. She wept and fell at the feet of the Brahmin. He was a compassionate person. He said, don't despair. In anger, I put a curse on you, but I will tell you how you will be released from it. You will become a fish and you will bear 2 human babies. After this, you will get your release. And that is exactly what happened. As soon as the babies were taken out of the fish, the soul discarded the body of a fish. It assumed the form of Apsara Adrika and went back to heaven. This is how girl Matsyagandha was born. She lived in the fisherman's house and grew into a beautiful maiden. The fisherman was also head boatman and she helped him in his work. Suji says, one day, the most pious, the most magnificent, and the most glorious ascetic, Muni Parasharji, was on a pilgrimage of holy places. He arrived on the banks of the sacred river Yamuna. He said to the boatman, take me across the river to the opposite bank. The boatman was eating his food, so he instructed his beautiful daughter Matsyagandha thus, daughter, you are very capable and clever. This honorable and holy saint wishes to go to the opposite bank. You can take him in the boat across the river. As per her father's wishes, the maiden Matsyagandha began to row the holy saint across the river. While they were still on the river, Parasharji felt stirrings within himself, and he took Matsyagandha's hand in his. She looked at him and said, you belong to a foremost clan. You are a Brahmin by caste. You are learned in the Vedas. You have performed penance and meditation. Am I equal or suitable to you? You are from the line of Guru Vashisht. You are well born and of noble descent. You are virtuous and righteous. You have full knowledge of the dharmas. Then why do you desire me? O twice born, to be born a human being is a unique gift. But I think that to be born into a Brahmin clan is the rarest gift of all. O great and glorious Brahmin, you possess the highest blessings of birth, natural disposition, virtues, knowledge of the Vedas, and all the gracious qualities. My body constantly emits the odor of fish. How could any feelings or desires be awakened by me? In her mind she thought, truly this Brahmin is a very simple-minded person, but I am all alone and there is no one to help me to divert his attention. So she said to him, be patient. In a little while we will reach the other bank. As soon as they reached, she said, O great saint, I am unfortunate that I smell bad. When 2 beings are of the same quality, then only there is happiness in union. No sooner had she said this, Saint Parasharji used his yogi's powers and caused her body to emit the perfume of musk. Perfume of her body spread for miles around. Then Matsyagandha became Satyavati of auspicious perfume. She said to Parasharji, it is daylight. People are watching. My father is across the river on the other bank. It is not right to behave like animals. We must wait for nightfall. This is the code of conduct written in the holy books. Please control your desires. Otherwise, there will be widespread and insufferable censure, slander, and defamation. Hearing this condition, Parasharji used his powers to cause a heavy fog. The bank was enveloped in darkness. Satyavati said, O Holy One, I am a chaste and pure maiden. You will leave as per your wishes, but what will happen to me? If I beget a child, what will I tell my father? Be kind and tell me what I must do in such a situation. Parasharji said, even after fulfilling my purpose, your chastity and purity will be intact. Ask for any boon that is dear to your heart. Satyavati said, O gracious and righteous one, you have bestowed an honor on me. Please grant that my father and mother never learn of this incident. May I have a son as magnificent and glorious as you, and may this perfume remain with me forever. Parasharji said, O beautiful maiden, your son will be a partial incarnation of Lord Vishnu. His fame will spread over the three worlds. It is due to some hidden, preordained cause that I behaved in this manner. Before this, I have never been attracted to any woman. Many apsaras tried to tempt me, but I never felt any urges. I was always in detached state of mind. So you can definitely assume that there is some divine purpose in this. Your son will understand the Vedas and compile them into 4 parts. He will be honored and venerated in all the 3 worlds. Sudji says, Satyavati was very gratified and pleased to hear this. Parasharji bathed in the holy Yamuna and left. Satyavati returned to her parents. She was with child. When the time drew near, she went to an island in the river Yamuna and gave birth to a son. He was radiant like the sun. As soon as he was born, he turned into a man. He said to his mother, O sweet mother, I am full of strength and energy. I had completely engaged myself in meditation before I appeared in your womb. You may leave me here and return home. I also will find a place and settle down in prayer and meditation. Whenever you put your attention on me, I will come into your presence. At any time, if you are faced with difficulties, just think of me and I will be there to help you. May you always be blessed. It is getting late and I must leave. Go and spend your time in joy and peace. Then Vyasji left and Satyavati returned to her parents. Thus, by the grace of the most holy Parasharji, Vedavyas was born. He was a partial incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Being aware that Kaliyam had begun, Vedavyas divided the Vedas into different parts. For this reason, he got the title Ved Vyas. He wrote all the Purans and the great epic Mahabharata. He taught the Vedas in all its details to great sages including his son Sukadevji. Sudji says, O Munis, this is the story of the births of Satyavati and Vedavyas. It is not proper to review or criticize the conduct and actions of men of God, nor it is right to imitate those actions. We should only try to absorb their qualities and awaken their virtues within ourselves. There is always a hidden reason behind apparent strange behavior of incarnations and holy saints. In this case, the cause was the entry of Vedavyas into this world. I have narrated this strange and amazing episode to you. It will not have an adverse effect on the listener. He will be forever peaceful.
The Holy Recital of Srimad Devi Bhagavat.